Welcome back to Rock Hard with Phil and Tish, 89.7 PBAFM. How good are Defryme, Tish?
They're so dope. It's
They
so
are awesome.
good that they're Aussies too, man.
I'm so pumped. Now, in 94, when Pure Killer came out, it was along with The Poor. There were two bands. There was Defryme and The Poor. Absolutely loved them. I've had a chance to chat with Skeeny from The Poor, and now I'm getting a chance to chat with Quinn from Defryme. How are you, Quinn?
Motherfucker! I'm good, how are you?
We said no swearing, mate, and then you just dropped that in straight away. How you going?
Oh, I'm very good. Great to be on your show. Hello, Adelaide.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, I need to ask a question. You guys, you're back. You're touring again. What happened, though? So Pure Killer came out in 94. You debuted in the top 5 of the Australian charts. You look like you're going to be the next massive thing everywhere, and then no more albums. What went on there?
We went to America.
What's
we went
that?
to South by Southwest. We played that. We got offered a whole heap of different things, and a whole heap of different things that didn't actually really suit us. We didn't agree with any of the things that were being offered.
Yep.
So we came back home, and we just found that the business side of things was starting to choke us creatively, and we decided to take a break, and that break just turned into a very, very long one. But we kept writing stuff,
Yep.
and we kept in contact, and we were doing other things. We did a whole heap of other projects. I worked on a project with Dorian West from Scary Mother. I don't know if you know them. Called Rig, and we loved that. And we presented it to B&G, who decided that definitely wasn't something that they were interested in.
Yeah.
And at the time, I guess it was kind of like the Prodigy and Anthrax mixed together with melody.
Nice.
So it was. I really enjoyed playing that style. But I think the best way to kind of sum it up was that Defryme started off really good, started off really strong. We had a lot of support. We were able to play Hey Hey just about every second month.
That's awesome.
Because our management worked on the show. So whenever there was a slot that was open, it was like get the boys on, and we always had something that we were wanting to release anyway. And we loved working on Pure Killer and Stylo, the EP. Loved doing that. Always loved being in the studio. Loved being out promoting it and playing live. But the business side of it just ended up getting to be something that just wasn't actually making it a worthwhile living for us.
Yeah.
So we had to adapt, as you do.
So you guys, I sort of look back and Pure Killer came out in 94. Such an amazing record. Still holds up to this day. It's a quality album. The songs stand up. But you guys were sort of mixing so many different styles at the time. There was, the rock, the funk, bit of hip-hop sort of stuff. So what were your influences? For someone who hasn't heard Defryme, how would you describe your music?
I would say in the most simplest form, we would be like the love child of Faith No More and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect.
With a little bit of NWA and Living Colour thrown into that DNA.
I love NWA. I love Living Colour. That is brilliant. I love Faith No More, and Red Hot Chili Peppers are pretty cool as well. But I reckon that's a pretty accurate description. So was that, I guess the different influences that everyone had in the band? You're all just coming from all different angles, and what came out was Defryme?
Well, I think what happened, initially Michael, the bassist, and I, we formed this band together and started writing songs together. It was just he and I that sort of started it up. We got a heap of players in later on, and they were all mates of ours. And we'd known them, especially Michael had known them all his life just about, and they all brought exactly what was needed to the table. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but the influences were definitely based on what Michael and I wanted at the time.
So what did you want at the time? Like, what were your big bands that made you go, yep, this is exactly what I need to do?
What was my big bang?
Bands.
Sorry, I'm missing that one.
What big bands were there that you saw on telly or live, and you're like, these are the guys that I need to be. This is what I want to do. I want to be a musician.
Oh, like when I was a little kid?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's easy. Kiss. I saw the Budokan, live Budokan on this TV show that was called Sounds Unlimited. Hosted by Donnie Sutherland, and if you don't know what that is, it's because you're way too young, right? This was in the early 70s, I saw this, and that fucking concert changed my whole, watching that changed my whole life. It was when Gene Simmons used to breathe fire and the blood capsules and all that sort of stuff with the bass solo. And I just thought that would be so much fun to do that. It was theatrical and crazy. And I was just a little kid when I was watching it, and I thought, I think I want to do that. So I went outside to the garage and I found these bits of wood and I made a guitar that kind of looked like an axe out of it. And I just started working with that silent guitar miming energy that a lot of kids do. And eventually I got a real guitar and I started singing and I started writing my own stuff. And the rest is just a big soup of music.
That's amazing. I'm a massive Kiss fan. Like, I have Gene Simmons' face tattooed on my arm. So that excited me, you talking about the Budokan gigs, like, especially early when they first went to Japan. That was, like, the best Kiss you could ever get. That's wicked.
That was the one just before Alive.
Oh, my God.
That was the one that I saw. It was freaking amazing.
You should see her little face right now, Quinn.
Cool.
She's like, ooh, she's gushing. You need to get a tattoo of my face.
No, I'm not young.
Do.
Like, I wish I had the experience of discovering Kiss. Like, my dad's a Kiss fan, so it was just passed on to me. So I'm a bit jealous.
Quinn, so this annoys me. You were saying you were watching this did you just say the early 70s?
Yeah, it was around about 74, I think.
How old are you?
I'm 51. And
That is ridiculous, man.
I'll be 52 in August.
Bloody hell, because you look exactly... We're actually commenting because we're watching... I'm going to sound like I've got a man crush here. I don't.
He does.
But, like, we're watching a live performance from 94. It's like, the dude looks the same. I'm turning 40 tomorrow. I'll look about 60.
Aww.
It's disappointing. Like, I'm shattered. So, when Pure Killer came out... Sorry, I'll stop being the creepy fanboy now. Pure Killer came out...
Keep it coming, son.
So, what's your favourite tour memory? Like, did you get to play with anyone that you sort of looked up to growing up, or any crazy tour stories for us?
We got to play with Radiohead. We toured with them.
Cool.
That was interesting. I think the main thing that I took away from that was that Tom York didn't want to come here.
Really?
Yeah, he complained the whole time. We also played with Scatterbrain.
Oh, Don't Call Me Dude. I love Scatterbrain, man.
That was interesting. We
So-
played with, and you know what? We played with the Poor.
The
We
Poor.
played with the Angels, the Divinals, Baby Animals.
Wow.
Strangely enough, we played with the Baby Animals.
Baby Animals, great band.
Yeah.
Excellent
And,
Great band.
That was around the time where Nuno Betancourt from Extreme was on the scene, and he was running around our guitarist, making sure our guitarist leads. He was like a roadie on the night, and he was running around making sure all the leads weren't getting tangled up, and he was just awesome.
Okay, I've got to say something, right? So Tish has the biggest crush on Nuno Betancourt, and I've got the biggest crush on Susie DiMarchi. So it's kind of like you. If again, everything you're saying about Kiss, now you're talking about Nuno. Tish is just like
It's all working for you.
Just-
Yeah,
grinning.
I love Nuno.
you're loving that, aren't you?
Yeah, him wearing that white jacket with that nose piercing, that long hair last year when he came here and played. Oh my lord, Jesus!
Goodness.
all right. So Pure Killer, great album. I've got it
Yeah.
on CD. I actually
Oh,
found
wow.
my Mama Said Knock You Out CD single the other day as well when we were having a walk through the house, Tish, if you remember. Now, when's Pure Killer going to come out on? Is it going to come out on Spotify anytime soon? What's
Oh,
the deal
mate,
with that?
Okay. So I've contacted BMG or Sony,
Yep.
and I'm not getting any responses from them.
Wow.
We've been trying to get that on Spotify for quite some time. Now, we have a plan which will probably involve a lawsuit where we're just going to do it.
Cool.
Fuck it. We're just
Do
going to
it.
do it.
Bloody oath.
But you know what? I do have to kind of grab my nuts in my hand and just do it. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I want to do it, and then another day I go, yeah, I don't want the lawsuit. And then, but you know what? I think we've got I think there's a couple of versions on YouTube where people have recorded and put the whole album up and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
People can hear it, but not having it on Spotify, I think is, I'm not saying that we're a massive part of history, but we're part of rock and roll.
Blood
Australian
oath you
rock and
are.
roll.
Yeah.
And to not have it is a bit insulting.
You know-
Not just to us, but to other people that want to hear it. So I think we're just going to go ahead.
I guess to put it in context, man, that album came out like 26 years ago. And I'm talking to you right now, and the reason we reached out to you is I'm a massive fan. Like, I'm a huge fan, and it's an album that has been a constant for me over the years. And, you know, the fact is Spotify and things like that are the way people get music these days. And the fact it's not on there, you know, it's disappointing.
Well, I reckon I'll try them one more time, and if I keep getting, you know, fresh air and donuts from them, I think we'll just do it.
We'll do a petition for you. We'll bag them on social media.
Use a different spelling of
Defryme. I might need them one day.
Well, yeah, we'll be nice to them and we'll say, come on, let Pure Killer come out. But I don't know why they wouldn't, man. Like, it's a great, absolutely great record. Now, the next thing though is what's planned for Defryme in the near future? Do you have any new music coming out? Any tours coming through? What's going on?
I'm actually just booking studio time this week. We're going to, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back and we're going to go back through the songs that didn't make Pure Killer. And it's not because they weren't good. It's just that they didn't sort of work with the rest of the format that was what was going to happen for that album. And we've probably got about 6 or 7 of them that are pretty monster songs.
Yeah.
One of them that fans of our band will know is called Lock Me Up. And, fans of our band that were actually old enough to come and see us play live.
I've never seen you live, and that kills me.
Mate, that's got to change.
It absolutely has to.
So this song, Lock Me Up, this is a bit of a crowd favourite, and we've decided that we're going to go ahead and record that one. So I'm in the midst of booking some studio time now to go and record that one, and hopefully, big hopeful, that'll be out on Spotify by the end of April, and then we can get started on getting back onto the road again.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll have something to promote, mate. Other than a legacy album that people really love, which is great. But having new music is always going to be a lot better because we're going to be trying to, you know, get more people interested in our new stuff too. And this is new old stuff, which I really like the idea of that.
No, that's sensational. How does it work now from a perspective? Obviously, you know, vinyl's making a massive comeback and stuff like that, but bands aren't releasing albums. You know, a lot of bands are releasing EPs or they're releasing a song here and there. Do you have any plans on doing an actual album with Defryme again anytime soon?
I did. What you just said is pretty much my mantra with everybody that I speak to at the moment, and that is that I don't like the idea, but it's true. I feel like that the album is almost dead. Yeah. Having said that, if you've got an album that is full of amazing songs, then the idea of an album isn't dead. Yeah. But if you're just putting filler in because you're releasing an album every year and you're putting songs in that you wouldn't release as a single, this is just my personal opinion. I don't want it to put out a song that I wouldn't put out as a single, and I don't want to put it onto an album. I don't want to put a piece of filler on an album. We didn't do it with Pure Killer.
No,
we didn't do it
didn't.
with Solo Curio. I don't want to ever do it. So we're living in a time where you do have to sort of turn over your stuff pretty quickly, or you're just going to dissipate. Like, there's just so much competition out there, which is good. Healthy competition is great, but there's also so much similarity in music. And I'm not just talking about rock music. I'm actually not talking about rock music. I'm talking about the music that most people are listening to now on the radio and whatnot. It sounds like the same person singing the same stuff over and over. And I don't want to be like that, and I don't want to record stuff like that. I don't want to be thought of in that way, and I definitely don't want to think about myself in that way. So I want to just record really great songs, and I'll release them one after the other with my band, and if they come together as an album, then that's great, and if they never do, they're just singles, then that's great too. I don't care. I just want to do great music. That's it.
So speaking of competition, is there any young artists that you're got your eye on or that you think more people should listen to?
No.
No? Awesome.
And that's not because I'm an old grumpy fart. That's because I'm an old grumpy fart that doesn't care about new music that isn't original, and I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. And I'm not saying that our band was the most original band in the world. We weren't. We had a thing. We definitely had an original thing about us. But we were definitely a car put together by a whole heap of parts from different manufacturers, for sure. I think so. But we had our own thing. And I'm not really hearing that at the moment. I'm hearing a lot of similarity across everything. I actually can't think of the last time I had the radio on and I went, oh, that's great. That song's really good. I really love it. And I want to have that. So maybe if you don't dislike me after this interview, we can have another interview next year, and hopefully I'll have heard something and I'll go, you know what?
Yeah.
These guys are fucking great. And maybe I've got my head up my ass as well, and I'm writing my own stuff, and I'm too self-absorbed with that to be even open to listening to other people's stuff.
Do you know,
I don't know.
I sort of, I'm not disagreeing with what you say, Quinn. Like up until we did this show, I was very close-minded to new music, but then you get sent some stuff. There is actually some really good music out there. It's just a lot harder to find now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there is some good stuff.
Send it to me.
We will.
I'll give you some cool bands to check out, man. There is some good stuff.
I want to be wrong. I want to hear stuff and just go, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Where can I see these guys? Where can I see her? Whatever. I want to know.
No, we discussed this a while ago.
We
Like, you want that
agree.
band to come out that just, takes over, and you're like, oh my God, like, I've
the new
never heard
stories
anything
and
like
stuff.
this. And, that band that your kids talk about to their kids and stuff like that. And,
It's
as
not
much as there's
happening.
some good people out there, there's some good bands, there probably hasn't been that sort of iconic band come out for a long time, unfortunately. But, look, we're getting really excited about the return of Defryme in the studio and hopefully tour. So with the tour, is there any plans on maybe bringing it out to Adelaide, or are Tish and I going to have to hop in the car or hop in the plane and head over to Melbourne to see you guys, which we're happy to do?
I reckon we'll definitely start doing the tracks around Melbourne to start with, and then we'll see how it goes. Like, if you get enough interesting stuff happening, like on social and whatnot, then why not come over? That'd be
Awesome.
great. Always like Adelaide.
That's nice to hear for a change. Everyone rags on us.
Come on, we're cool, man. We're
I know.
we're good.
All like dresses and shit.
So we're going to play a couple more songs from Pure Killer, which I'm going to get you to introduce and have a chat to us about. And then we've got some pretty cool news to share, which I want everyone to make sure they stay on and listen after this, because we'll be going back to Quinn very soon. What are we going to be playing now? What happened to my voice then? What are we going to be playing now, Quinn? Do
What are you
remember?
playing now?
I don't know. I reckon we're going to play a couple of tracks from Pure Killer, including the title track.
I reckon you're probably going to play Pure Killer and maybe... what was the other one? Maybe God Inside a Man?
Yeah, two of the greatest Aussie rock songs. Stuff it, man. Like, I'm not even going to say Aussie rock songs. It was such a killer album. I love it, and I shouldn't get too excited. I should be casual about it. But such a cool album. We'll be back very, very soon with some pretty special news. You're listening to Rock Hard with Phil and Tish, 89.7 PBA FM.
Go.
You're back on Rock Hard with Phil and Tish, 89.7 PBA FM. We have Quinn from Defryme with us right now, and I reckon you've got someone with you, Quinn, and some pretty cool news to share.
Mate, I've been working on a new project with a pretty amazing cat, and it's called The Black Skeleton. That's a new band that we're doing together. And I'd like to introduce you and your listeners to Mr. Dave Leslie and the Baby Animal.
Yay!
Hey, Phil. Hey, Tim.
G'day, Dave.
what's
Thanks
up?
for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be aboard.
We are massive Baby Animals fans as well. Now, it's awkward that I said that I had a crush on Susie DiMarchi earlier in the interview, so let's just ignore that. So, The Black Skeleton, new project. Talk to us about it.
Well, I've been sort of writing songs that weren't necessarily slated for Baby Animals tracks, and, just doing stuff at home, the song just has to be the song. And I went out and I'd met Quinn a couple of times. We went and saw Defryme play a couple of months ago, and it hit me like a bolt. I'm like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I should ask, just see what he's doing, and see if we might throw a couple of things his way and to see if anything came out of it. And bingo, far out, man. I sent this piece of music to him. It came back with a finished vocal on it that made me cry.
Yep.
It was unbelievable. And we've been sort of banging away at ideas, some of his, some of mine, ever since, putting a bunch of songs together. It's been really, really good, really refreshing, and surprisingly easy process. So it's been fantastic. I'm really excited about it.
So this is just something that came on the last couple of months?
4 or 5 months ago? August.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you guys and this new project? And is there any sort of dates looming around of any sort of releases?
We're just putting stuff together at the moment. Still recording, still writing, finding our feet and everything like that. But it's coming together pretty well. There's no deadline, but we'd love to get something happening soon. That's for sure. By second half of this year would be really good.
And then you have to come to Adelaide as well. That's kind of the rule now.
Let's do it. We'll try and get a gig at the Gov or something like
that.
Yeah,
love the Gov. Love the Gov.
Gov's good, man. The Gov's a good rock pub.
Gov's awesome. Yeah. Lion Arts Factory is awesome now too. The old Fowlers redid that, gutted it. It's rad now.
Well, okay. I don't think I'm not familiar with that one.
It's in the CBD. It's wicked. If you need another option, we'll book you.
Yeah, we'll hook it all up. We'll give you beers. We'll get you in the studio. It's going to be awesome.
We will hold you to that.
We'll take the combi.
It has to happen. Now, could you talk to me about this track? Because we might be playing a new track for the listeners.
Yeah, sure.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, maybe I will. Dave was playing me some songs, and I'm like, yep, these are good. And he goes, I've got this thing too. And he plays me this piece of music. And I go, stop. He goes, what? I go, take it back to the head. Take it back to the head. He plays it a little bit more. I go, stop. Take it back to the head. He plays it a little bit more. Starts humming. I go, stop that. He goes, stop. Take it back to the head. He plays it again. I go, okay, cool. Put me in. He goes, what do you mean? I go, come on. Put the mic on. Put me in. So I started humming this kind of T-bone style thing, the verse and whatnot. So I did that, and I looked at him and I go, what do you reckon? He goes, I really like it. He goes, the low register sounds really good. And I've gone, cool. I go, maybe just send me that and I'll work on it over the week. So over the week, I started writing some words, and they're all pretty personal. It's obvious, when you go through this, it's obviously pretty personal. Mm-hmm. And I was writing some words, and then by the Saturday night, Dave and I got together on the Monday, and by the Saturday night, it was the night before Father's Day, and I met my girl, and I go, you know what, I'm going to go up in the front room where my stuff's set up, and I go, I think I'm going to do the vocals for that track. So I go up there, and I start working on it, yelling away, and about an hour later, I go get her, I go, come have a listen to this. And she comes up, and she has to listen to it. She goes, you've got to send that to him right the fuck now. Send it to him now. I go, you don't think I should wait 6 months? I said, no. Send it to him now. Yeah. So I did. And then Dave called me up the next day and
said, you got me. You bloody made me cry, you bastard. It blew my mind. It was like, because you write a piece of music and everything like that, and in the back of your mind, you've got a little idea of maybe a melody bit for it or whatever. And this thing was just so above and beyond what I thought the music was capable of.
Yeah.
This treatment that Quinn sent back, I thought, oh, wow, we're really onto something here, And, it's fantastic. It still gets me. I listen to it in the car and it gets me, And it'll probably keep getting me,
It got me today. I hadn't heard it for probably about 2 weeks, and I had to listen to it, and I went, oh, wow.
Yeah. We played it to a mate of ours, and it got him too. Yeah.
Yeah. But enough of us shooting our own horns. Play that.
Do you know? I've just got to say though, so Quinn said you sent me the song, and it's so unlike Defryme.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, because I'm a massive fan of Defryme, as I've said, and you send it, and I was excited when you said you were going to send me the song. I'm like, what if I don't like it? Like, how awkward would that be? Man, I'm blown away by this track. Like, I've legitimately been listening to it non-stop for the last 48 hours since I heard it. I can't wait for our listeners to hear it as well.
Yeah.
I hope they like it. We've talked
mate.
enough.
I don't think.
What if they just go, you know what? This is a big pile of horse shit.
And they stop listening to our show.
Look, we've got some ICP fans. They might.
In all honesty, though, and this isn't me being biased because I'm a fan or we've got you on the show at the moment, it's legitimately an incredible song. And it's the type of song that commercial radio needs to be playing. Because if people get the chance to listen to it, they're going to lap it up.
Bloody oath.
They're going to absolutely lap it up. It is an incredible song. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I can't wait for our listeners to have a chance to hear it. Our listeners. Well, they are listeners, aren't
our
they?
listeners have a listen.
No, I said have a chance to hear it. I corrected myself, Tisha.
Hey, attitude.
Jeez. Do you know when this is going to be available for people to purchase on Spotify or?
Mate, if it was up to me, it would have been out the day after we recorded it because I don't know. I want to see what people think about this one. I think we've got a couple of little tweaks.
There's a couple of little tweaks, I think.
And I think once we've done that, I think we'll be very happy with it. But, we'd love to hear what it sounds like.
Well, I can tell you right now, we're going to be playing this pretty consistently on Rock Hard with Phil and Tish. And again, we really appreciate the chat. This is really exciting. I can't wait to hear what else the Black Skeleton's going to do because, if this song's a taster of what's to come, it's going to be a pretty special project and a pretty special band, I reckon. So thanks again for joining us tonight. And,
thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Anytime. Now, what's the name of the song? We're going to crank it for you now.
This is Out of Our Minds by the Black Skeleton.
You're listening to Rock Hard with Phil and Tish on 89.7 PBA FM. Thanks so much, guys.
Hey, thank you.